Hey everybody, how's it going? Another beautiful day in paradise. But I was thinking, now that I've pulled this thing for all winter, but anyways, this thing isn't new by any means, but on the other hand, it's in pretty decent shape for how old it is. But I got some questions about the tractor I pull it with, so I'll start with that. This is a 2010 Maxim 125. You've seen it in a lot of my videos. I just noticed I never said anything about it. We bought this tractor brand new in 2011. It was a carryover. So we did get a pretty good deal on it. But I'll do okay. I'm gonna hope this thing stays working, but I'll do the tractor in another video. We'll go on to the feeder. So I do really like this feeder. A couple things that I don't like about it is this bed is about 18 inches too short to get a fifth bale on it. I mean, your bale comes to right about there, so you got that much, but it still it falls off every time. And not that I need to pack 6 bales all the time, but I mean, come on, you're gonna make it long, you might as well put another foot on it. And one thing that is really nice about it is, unlike all the other feeders that are this style, the bed tips up. As you guys have seen, this thing, the whole machine goes down, so you have a lot less of an angle when you're picking up your bales. I know everybody else I've talked to that has a big feeder like this, theirs tips up, and most guys don't even load them with the chains. They load them with a separate tractor and loader, because just pure the fact is that it doesn't pick them up, it tears the net wrap, and they dig into the ground really bad, and break chains and all that. But another thing I don't like is this mess here. There's about a 10-inch gap between this brace right here, where the brace to the load arm comes, and the feeder itself, and so that just is a trap for hay, and it just builds up and builds up. And I cleaned it out this morning, and I mean, I fed 6 bales today. You can just see how you can't even tell. But one more thing that I don't like about it is that when you load a bale, that thing tips over, and so it gives more room for the bale to fall in there, and it doesn't bend that thing. Personally, I think, and on the newer ones, on the newer machines, that is about 18 inches taller, so because the hay will slough over that really bad, and the spring that holds it up isn't very strong. So I mean, even when you're feeding when that bale's still bigger than half, I guess you could say, it just pushes that thing over. And honestly, the first 2 or 3 spins, more hay comes out this side than goes through the flails. So, and I have seen guys, I have ran, when I was going to college, I worked for a place, and they had a couple of these, but they actually did extend them, and they put a hydraulic cylinder. I can't remember exactly how they did it, but they had that shield on rigged up to a hydraulic cylinder, and it was all the same. So like when you raised your load arms, dump that bale in, that cylinder would pull that down. And so the reason they did that is because that spring isn't worth a shit, and they fed in a feedlot with it, so they didn't want to make a mess. And so that cylinder would hold that up, and it made a huge difference. But anyways, the last thing I think that I don't like about it, and this isn't the feeder's fault, is this, my net wrap box. It's snowing like a son of a gun. It's in a convenient spot, but not so much at the same time, because when that hay does slough over, it all falls down and lands right there. And what that does is, if it builds up and it builds up, and it'll get up in here and it'll catch up, cause it to catch up in there, and that shield won't open all the way, and it's just a pain. But if that wasn't there, I mean, that hay wouldn't catch there. But I was thinking about, well, I might move it back here and weld it right there by that white sticker, but then it would be in the way. It might hang up on the ground when you lower the bed, and it would be into the bales that are on the bed. And so I guess right there isn't too bad a spot. But yeah, that's that. It could, that deal over there too, the other side. Well, we'll just go over there and I'll show you it. I don't like it. I think it needs to be solid, of like a piece of like an actual tub, like all the other ones they make. They make them now that way. But I have these bent out because when I got this thing, they were bent up bad, and they should come all the way over to here. But so hay falls down right here, and that's not a big deal. But hay does get out of there, and that just doesn't look very good, I don't think. So someday I would like to rebuild that how I want it, and I'd make it taller and closer, and so there's not much room for that bale to play in there. It'll just spin instead of sliding back and forth. I did put, last week I put 5 or 6 new bars in here, and I put new chains on each side, and that made a big difference in how it fed, because these bars, some of these bars were bent, and they'd been broken, welded, and got chewed up and got into the flail. And so yeah, that was kind of expensive, almost $700 for all that, but it was a big improvement. And that's just the hazards of buying used equipment, is you never know what you're gonna get, even if you do look it over. So yeah, that's the DW Haybuster feeder, whatever you call it. I'm not sure the exact term for it. Haybuster, or DW themselves, buys the Haybusters and mounts them on these things. So yeah, thanks for watching. Stay dry.